Funny thing, when I saw the trailer to this movie, I thought the movie was starring Adrian Brody instead of Tom Hiddleston. I mean, can you see the similarities? So I saw Kong Skull Island today, and this movie is, my opinion, it's my favorite among the King Kong movies that have been released, like the major ones. This includes, yes, the 1930s version, the 70s version, and the 2005 version by Peter Jackson. I'm not a fan of the King Kong movies, except for this one. I liked it. Why I liked it was because one thing that this movie does that a lot of movies that involve big giant monsters, this movie makes you feel how big and massive Kong is. You feel how big he is, how wide he is, and how hard he hits. You feel it. And it's good sound design, it's good camera work, and the effects are good, so you feel like he's actually there. That's what I like. You like that he is there. Like, you feel how big he is and everything. Now, this movie stars, like I said in the intro, Tom Hiddleston, Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, and John Goodman. They all do their part. Tom Hiddleston, who I'm always going to see him as Loki, I'm not going to see him as anything else other than Loki, is great. Brie Larson, there's a reason why she won an Oscar. She's great. Sam Jackson plays his same old shtick with Sam Jackson. John Goodman, he was not good in this movie. His performance felt very stiff and wooden. Like he was just phoning it in, like not giving it his A game. And I've seen him in better things. I've seen him in Roseanne. He's great in Roseanne. He's great in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Like, this guy can act. Like, he can put in a good performance. But this one just was not one of them. It was just, he was awful. Oh, I wouldn't say awful, but this is nowhere near his best. Now, other than King Kong being as big and wide, you feel it and everything, what did I like about this movie other than that? It's very well, the story's pretty good. I mean, it starts off pretty rocky and then gets better and better and better and better. All leading up to, wow, a amazing action sequence at the end. It was badass to watch King Kong throw down with another giant monster. It was so cool. This movie does throw in some pretty decent comic relief with John C. Reilly, and he plays the kind of same character that he plays in his comedy movies like Dewey Cox and Step Brothers and stuff like that. But John C. Reilly can act. I've seen him in good stuff, like he's been in Gangs of New York, he was in Never Been Kissed. Like, he can put in a good performance, and this one is one that he does very well. I liked it. I liked him in this movie. I liked most of the cast. But let's get to what I didn't like. Outside of John Goodman's performance, this movie is cliched as hell. This movie is, like, the overarching theme outside of like a monster movie is it's a war movie. And it's a very cliched one. An extremely cliched one. Down to the soundtrack and the cinematography in some scenes. I was like, oh, God, like, can you break the mold in something? And this movie doesn't break any ground, doesn't break the mold. It's a war movie that just happens to have King Kong in it. And it takes away from the movie, like, significantly. You have, like, the war banter between the two, and Sam Jackson plays that crazy, like, war-hardened person that's like, oh, we have to do what the mission is, or I have to avenge my men, instead of using common sense. And a lot of decisions in this movie, I'm like, what was the point of that decision? Like, what does that serve? And there are also pointless scenes in this movie that I'm like, okay, what was the point of that? What purpose did that serve? Like, why was that there? That takes away from the movie as well. Another thing that they do is they introduce a lot of characters on you that you're like, I don't remember your name. I can't picture your motive. I don't know what purpose you serve. And yeah, spoiler, a lot of people get killed. It's like, okay, he's dead. Bye. It's like you don't really feel for these characters. You don't have the same wants as they do. You really don't care if they're still alive or not. And that's a problem. Like, you want to have sympathy for characters. And this movie just introduced too many at once, and you just don't care about them. Yeah, there is one part where they try to make you feel sorry for a character that died, but you're like, you don't spend enough time with this character to really care. It doesn't make sense. But overall, as a movie, it's enjoyable. I liked it. I had fun with it. It's not like I hated this movie or anything. There are parts that I did hate. There are performances that I hated. But there are more things that I liked than things I didn't like. So I have no qualms with this movie. The only thing that I fear this movie is going to do is end up just fading into the ether and not really making any sort of like landmark. And you're not really, that's what the thing is, you're not going to remember this movie in like 5 to 10 years, which is pretty tragic because this movie actually is pretty good. I would recommend it. I give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. The cliches and the fact that John Goodman's performance just really took me out of this movie. I can't give it any higher than a 7.5. It's a good movie though. I do recommend it. I say if you really want to go see it, then go see it. It's a harmless movie that I think you'll like. Alright, thank you everyone for watching my review. If you want to see my last one, it is right over here. And if you want to click that button right down below and subscribe, that'd be awesome. I post videos at least once a week, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!